Very good morning to all the shareholders at the 33rd annual general meeting of your company. I am Darsha Adira, Company Secretary and Compliance Officer of your company and the moderator of this meeting. It is 11:07 a.m. and we commence the proceedings of the meeting. Your company has great pleasure in extending a warm and cordial welcome to all of you at the 33rd annual general meeting, held through video conferencing or other audio-visual means, in accordance with the circulars issued by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and SEBI. I extend my warm welcome to all the distinguished members of the Board of Directors of the company. We have with us physically present at the meeting Mr. Pradeep Rathod, CEO, Chairman and Managing Director, Mr. Pankaj Rathod, Non-Executive Director, Mr. Sumerval Hindesra, Independent Director and Chairman of the Audit Committee and Remuneration Committee, will be soon joining us. Mr. Piyush Chajjar, Independent Director, Mr. Madhusudan Jangir, Chief Financial Officer, and Mr. Pushparaj Singhvi, Independent Director and Chairman of the CSR Committee, will also be joining us soon. The other members present on the panel through video conferencing are Mr. Gaurav Rathod, Non-Executive Director, Mr. Sudhakar Monkar, Independent Director and Chairman of the Stakeholders Relationship Committee, Mr. Mahendra Sundesha, Independent Director and Chairman of the Risk Management Committee. I also welcome the partners of Messrs. Jeswani and Rathod, statutory auditors of the company, Mrs. BP Shah and Co. Internal Auditors, Messrs. HS Associates, Secretarial Auditor and the Scrutinizer for the meeting. As the AGM is being held through video conferencing, the facility for appointment of proxies by the members is not applicable. Members seeking to inspect the register of directors and key managerial personnel, the register of contracts and arrangements, can send their request at the email ID wimplas@cellobold.com. The company has received requests from few members to register them as the speakers for the meeting. For the smooth conduct of the meeting, all the members will be in mute mode. Audio and video facility will be enabled for those members who have registered themselves as speaker shareholders once we announce to commence question and answer section. While speaking, we will request the speakers to use earphones and minimize the voice in the background so that they are clearly audible. During the AGM, if the member faces any technical issues, they may contact the helpline number mentioned in the notice of the meeting. Since the requisite quorum as per the Companies Act 2013 is present, I request Chairman Sir to kindly occupy the chair and we will call the meeting to order and start the proceedings. As the Chairman's speech, which forms a part of the annual report, is already circulated to all the members, we take the speech as read. The annual report for the financial year 2020-21, comprising the notice of AGM, audited financial statements, board and auditors report, have been sent through electronic mode to all the members who have registered their email IDs with the company or their respective depository participants. Consequently, I will take the notice convening the meeting and the auditor's report on both standalone and consolidated financial statements as read. I would like to mention that there were no qualifications, observations, or adverse comments or remarks in the statutory auditor's report and secretarial audit report. Before we proceed, I am pleased to bring you on notice that, as required under the Companies Act 2013, the company had provided you all the facility to cast your vote electronically on all the resolutions set forth in the notice. Members who have not cast their vote electronically and who are participating in the meeting will have an opportunity to cast their votes through the e-voting system provided by Lincoln Time Private Limited, the registrar of the company. Members may please note that there will be no voting by show of hands. We now take up the resolution set forth in the notice. We will then start with the questions by the members after all the resolutions are tabled. Resolution 1 in the notice of AGM is for regarding adoption of financial statements. Agenda 2 is for the declaration of final dividend of rupees 5 per equity share for the financial year ended 31st March 2021. 3 for reappointment of Mr. Pankaj Rathod as director who retires by rotation is willing to be reappointed. 4 for approval of remuneration of the cost auditor. Last item regarding reclassification of promoters, few members of the promoters who form part of the promoter and promoter group into public category. The text of the resolutions along with the relevant explanatory statement is provided in the notice circulated to the members. Before we go live to the question and answers, kindly turn on your video when you are projected on the broadcast screen. Kindly unmute yourself and proceed to ask the questions. Please mention your location from where you are joining. Each shareholder will have 3 minutes for their questions. To avoid repetition, the board will respond to all the questions at the end. Now we request Mr. Vaibhav Bhajatia, speaker number 1, join the meeting, unmute yourself.
Hello, good morning. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes, good morning, management. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for providing me the opportunity to attend the meeting and speak my queries. So I'll start with the queries. First, we would like to hear Mr. Gaurav Rathod as to what changes he would like to do in the strategy and performance of the company. Second, post 2015, there has been significant investments in new product and capacity expansion. Not only this, but the expenses incurred on advertising, scheme, discounts, commission on sales have gone up as a percent of sales from 2016. But still the company has not been able to grow even during the pre-COVID period. Can you please talk in detail about the reasons for the same? What is the exact problem the company is facing in the pre-COVID period which was restricting growth? Thirdly, why during 2000 to 2009 our revenue growth rates were lower than our competitors, specifically Nilkamal, and why we made a comeback and achieved higher growth from 2009 to 2016, and similarly post 2016 we again seem to be growing slower than Nilkamal. What explains these changes in comparative growth rates? Fourth, can you please provide your view on competitiveness of the plastic products made from oil delivered materials versus recycled plastics? What are the conditions under which one is competitive in terms of price vis-a-vis the other? We have noticed that post 2015, whole industry growth in plastic business has slowed down considerably even before the COVID period till FY 1920. Can you please explain the reasons for the same? Some of the competitors of the company like Prima Plastic have been really successful in expanding the business overseas, particularly in Africa. Does Wimplast have any plans to explore sales in other geographies? Second, what is the size of the air cooler business in 2019 and what is the margin profile for the same? And last question, sir, what is the proportion of our bubble guard business in overall revenue and what is the EBITDA and gross margin profile for the same? Is it higher or lower than the plastics business? So these are the questions which I have and would be grateful if you could answer all these, sir. Thank you.
We move on to the next speaker, Mr. Viraj Kacharia.
Mr. Viraj Kacharia has not yet joined the panel. We will move on to the next speaker.
Mr. Abhishek Kalra.
Mr. Abhishek Kalra has also not yet joined the panel. We can move on to the next speaker.
Mr. Vinod Agrawal.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Yeah, respected Chairman Pradeep Rathod ji, CFO Madhusudan Jangar ji, and our CS Daksha Dodra ji. Warm regards to everyone. Good morning to everyone. Sir, I've gone through your annual report. There are few questions which arise from that. So, for the past 5 years, your sales have not grown, and your sales during the last year have been much less. It may be due to COVID, but still the sales, a lot of industries had rebounded during the fourth quarter of 21, FY21, and they had recovered the sales. Our company has not been able to recover that fourth quarter sales to the extent that we had lost in Q1. It has not come back. Sir, what I've noted is that your EPS is 26.75 and you've given a dividend of only 5 rupees this year. But last year the dividend was 7 rupees. This year, the last year the dividend at 7 rupees was including dividend distribution tax. This year the dividend is without the dividend distribution tax. It comes out much less, and the dividend which you'll receive will be taxable in our hands. You could have maintained that dividend from the earnings per share, since you do not have much capital work in progress. Your capital work in progress is only 13 lakhs this year. It has been shown, and your depreciation this year was about 18 crores, and only capital expenditure is about 13 lakhs only this year. So why this thing? If we have this kind of a less capex and higher depreciation, then the total fixed cost, fixed assets will come down, and you got 84.72 crores of current investments. Now, what is this likely to be used for? We can are we likely to put up new plants or something? Because and of the numerous plants that we've got, which are working to full capacity and which are working to less than 40% capacity, we'd like to know, sir. And I'd also like to know which is how much revenue are you deriving on the as a percentage in the furniture business, the appliance business, and in the e-commerce that you say that you have started e-commerce selling also through e-commerce platform. What is the revenues from e-commerce platforms also? This is what I like to know. And current investments, note this thing. Another thing which has been observed is that last year your employee expenses have come down substantially from 25 crores to 20 crores, and the actual salaries paid to them was only 17 crores against 22.46 crores in the previous year. So why has this salaries come down? Have you sacked your employees, or you've reduced their wages? What is this? In a COVID time, you cannot sack your employees. It is a bad sign. If you do something like this, then you'll not be able. Your reputation as a good hire will go down, sir. This is, you should take care of your employees also during bad times. Since you got good results, you got everything good. I wish the company all the best. Let the company. It is not in the peak. Your peak was around 2015-16. It is much lesser. You come back to your peak. Come back to better times, sir. As shareholders, we've been there since the past 10 years. I hope you'll keep on increasing the sales and growth and come back with better dividends. And thank you, sir. Signing off, Vinod Agarwal.
Moving ahead. Next speaker for the day is Mr. Nikhil Upadhyay.
Hello. Good morning. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks for the opportunity. I have already sent you a list of questions. I'm just picking the broad questions. One is, can you give a split between the revenue for furniture, bubble guard, bins, and coolers? Secondly, in the furniture business, would chairs be the larger part of the business, and what products we have launched in the furniture business over last 3-5 years, and what is their revenue contribution as of now? Thirdly, in our annual report, we've mentioned that the demand was hit from marriage halls, institution, hotels, and government orders not contributing. Can you give us a share how the share is between these institutional versus retail customers? Then there is a question. We've mentioned that e-commerce did very well for us. So how is the growth been for e-commerce and what is its revenue contribution? Are you looking at entering in the furniture business space in a much larger way in terms of adding more lines of businesses or anything? If you can share what's the thought process of management over next 3-5 years. Secondly, sir, if we look at it, we have many associate companies. So why not we merge those associate companies, because it will be good for promoter as well as the minority shareholders. So what is the role of so many associate companies? And lastly, whenever we are entering new segment, what is the minimum ROC we are looking at or margin profile we are looking at before deciding whether we want to enter new segment or not? Those are my questions, other than those which I have already sent you through mail. I would just request if you can, because the voice is very feeble, if you can just speak a bit louder, and also if you can answer one by one rather than grouping, it will be very helpful, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mr. Upadhyay. Next speaker, Mr. Mani Sundaram.
Mr. Mani Sundaram is not available in the panel. We can move on to the next speaker.
We move on to Ms. Vasudha Dakwe.
Thank you. Oh, can you hear me, sir?
Ma'am, you
Very
need
good
to be
morning.
louder.
Yes, sir. Very good morning, respected Chairman, sir, Board of Directors, and my fellow shareholders. Myself, Vasudha from Bombay. I would like to congratulate our company secretary for sending me the soft copy of the report well in advance, which itself is clear and transparent. I would like to ask, when did the last bonus declare? Secondly, I would like to ask, what is the impact of COVID-19 on our current employees as well as our contract and casual basis employees, and what steps you have taken for the benefit of them? And any new product is coming in the pipeline, please throw some light. With this, I support all the resolution. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Next speaker, Ms. Celestine Mascarenhas.
Hello. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yes, sure.
Yes. Respected Chairman, Mr. Chairman, CEO and MD, Pradeep Ji Rathod, other honorable directors on this virtual meet, my fellow shareholders, my name is Mrs. C. Mascarenhas. I am speaking from Mumbai. First, I want to thank our company secretary, Darsha Adodaraf, for sending me AGM notice report and registering my speaker and giving me the link to come on this platform. Also, I thank Link in Time. Now I come to the annual report, a good one. Revenues are like down, PBT, PAT down because of all the COVID lockdowns and all. A very difficult period it was. So we understand, but the gesture of giving 5 rupees per share is share of 10 is definitely welcome and very good. But even our market cap is good. But what I find, it is not that way which was in 15-16. And another point is, now the market is so much heated. All IPOs which have nothing, no assets, no anything, just virtual, they are commanding what premiums, and they are all oversubscribed. And here is a company which is so powerful and so strong. I would like this to be like market cap like Supreme Industries. But maybe I'm praying for it. It will go that way, up and up. Now my queries, I definitely congratulate for whatever awards we have got, and also the CSR work done as given in the AGM in the report. Now my queries, sir, we have a plant at Daman, Baddi, Chennai, Haridwar, Kolkata, Pardi, and total employees of 536. I would like to know how many were suffered from COVID and how many recovered, and any fatalities and the vaccination level. What level our people working are vaccinated and their families. So how much percent of the total sales is by way of e-commerce, and which platform we are using? Are we on Amazon or Flipkart, or throw some light on it. While I was going through through the annual report, shares 5,401 held by 21 shareholders. They are transferred in IEPF. So whether certain sort of contacting the shareholder or their people at their address, whether that was like followed up, because then once it goes, it becomes still more problem. So please take little interest on this aspect, because it is the shareholders' hard-earned money. So then for inorganic growth, any acquisitions, any planning to do acquisitions, who is our main competitor? So we are in three verticals: furniture, coolers, and one more, these bins and all. So where we have a very cutting edge, and which gives us more demand, and which has which where we get a very good margin. So who are our main competitors? So I would like, this is my suggestion, I would like the photos of our products put on the annual report. And when any new product added, that also to be put, that this is now come. And every quarterly, sir, you all are not so visible on the national TV. Every quarter, you should come and see, show, you may send us by email, but when you come on the national TV, that goes to many people. So you should come on the national and speak about. So then we will, like Mr. Taparia, every quarter he comes and speaks on the national TV. So if something is done, we are also aware. Oh, my company is now done this product, has got something like this. So please, it would be, our market capitalization will definitely go by leaps and bounds, or we should have a very strong sales manager, or what you call it, who can really fructify a lot, because like company like Tata Consumer, it is that Sunil is taking from one level to the another. Same thing with Godrej Consumer. They have also picked up somebody very expert in sales. I'm not getting Shripati, and now that also has started moving. We have got very good products. So please think over it. You will also go up, and we will make us also rich, So that way, I request you. I support all the resolutions. I always pray for you and your whole team good health, and may our company grow from strength to strength. With this, I thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to speak. Thanks once again.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I invite Ms. Lekha Shah. Kindly speak.
Hello. Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Respected Chairman Sir Pradeep Bhai, Board of Directors, and my fellow members, good morning to all of you. Myself, Lekha Shah from Mumbai. First of all, I am very much thankful to our company secretary, Ms. Darshana Ben, for sending me the AGM notice well in time, which is full of knowledge, fact and pickets in place. Since register link in time, send us direct link to the meeting on time. We do not face any challenge to join the meeting. Thank you, link in time, especially Prasad Bhai and Devang ji. Sir, I would thank to all persons of company for receiving awards and recognition by our various plans during the year 2021. And also, I am glad the company is doing very well in the field of CSR activities. I am sure that our company award list will get longer and longer the years to come. Pradeep Bhai, I am happy to see all the good deeds you have done during this difficult time. I pray to God that He always shower His blessing upon you. Sir, I would like to ask few questions. My first question is, how is our company operating? Are we operating from home or are they are working from the office? My second question is, how is the company preparing itself in a post-COVID world? My second question is, what are the learning from the lockdown and how is the company implementing those learning? My third question is, how we are engaging our employees? My fifth question is, are all company employees vaccinated against COVID-19? My sixth question is, how many of our employees were affected by COVID-19? So, I would like to say, I strongly propose all the resolutions for today's meeting and my best wishes always our company and its prosperity. Thank you, sir.
Moving on, we invite Ms. Prakashini Shenoy.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
I'm Prakashini Shenoy from Bombay. Respected Honorable Chairman, other dignitaries on the board, and my fellow shareholders, good morning to all of you. I received the soft copy of the annual report well in time through email, which is colorful, transparent, and contains all the information as per the corporate governance. I thank Darshana Ben and her team for the same. I should not forget to thank LinkedIn Time. They have passed on the link to me, without which I won't be in a position to speak. So we are living in a days where everything is unpredictable lives, including our existence. In such a circumstances, running a company like Wimplast Limited is a great thing. I salute you, Chairman, sir. I have few questions to ask. What is the roadmap for the next 2 years? What is the effect of COVID-19 on a company and what are its challenges? Are we planning to have a new R&D or expand the existing R&D? If yes, what shall be the approximate cost involved? My next question is there any change in our company after the introduction of new budget in the parliament? I'm thankful to the board for recommending dividend in spite of COVID-19. I thank one and all staff for getting various awards during the year. I am also very happy to note that the company has done excellent work in the field of CSR. I wish the company good luck for a bright future and pray God that the profit of the company shall reach the peak in due course. Sir, I support all the resolutions put forth in today's meeting. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Next speaker is Mr. Rajat Sethia.
Hi. Am I audible? All right. Thanks. So, sir, I have already sent my questions over the email. So, if you suggest, then I won't repeat them here. All right. So, just one request, sir, that please answer the questions point by point. That is the only request I have. Thank you so much.
We now invite Mr. Nand Kishore Sharma.
Yeah, thank you for this opportunity. As like others, I have also sent in my list of questions to the management and chairman. Would you want me to repeat them, or as like others, you would want to answer them, sir?
You can answer.
All right.
We have
Thank
your
you,
questions,
and
we will answer.
thank you. We'll appreciate your replies. Thank you so much.
We invite Mr. Saket Kapoor.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
जी, धन्यवाद जी. Thank you, ma'am, and thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity. Sir, firstly, sir, I would like to know, sir, how is the current financial year shaping up for the company in terms of our business performance, the revenue and the margins? Would also like to know how is the raw material basket shaping up, and since we have seen the prices for polymers, because of being a crude derivatives, have moved up. So how well are we to maintain our margins even during this inflationary environment? Sir, and what are the steps that we have taken so that we could maintain or improve our margins going forward? For the current year, sir, what was our capacity utilization for the fourth quarter, sir? And even our first quarter numbers are due, so we will be knowing about them going forward. So, what is our budget on the advertisement spending, both on the print and the digital media? And sir, there is a one provision of current liability of 5.38 crore in the cash flow. What is it attributable to, sir? And sir, currently, sir, we have seen that the government is looking for plastics for road construction also. So, taking into account our scrap products and all, or the second item which are rejected, is there any scope for the recycling thing to that may go into the road making, or we can look providing plastics of the grades that may go into road making if there is any opportunity on that? And also, sir, your thought on food grade plastics. What portion of our revenue are coming from the food grade plastic tiffin sets and all, and what are the steps we are taking? As I will not repeat the questions from all the learned shareholders have asked. I am looking for the answers from them. And sir, lastly, sir, last year also shareholders have requested, and I just repeat for the sake of the benefit of shareholder value creation, post our quarterly numbers, we must be provided with some business updates that should include the operational and the financial performance of the quarter described by our MD or the CFO. And I request our ma'am, company secretary, to take note of the request and make and discuss on the merit of the same, so that going forward we are abreast with the current performance of the company in the way that other companies are doing. And we should look at press releases, conference calls as the means of communicating and keeping in track with your investors, and also giving the material or the information for future investors, so that they can invest in the story of the company. First, this should be deliberated whether it enhance whether it counter any merit or not. And sir, going forward, we would look for shareholders value creation by in form of buyback also, sir. We have seen that in many other small companies where the cash cycle is negative cash flows they are working on, they can very easily come up with buyback that will shore up the valuations, or in fact not even shore up, will provide the right valuations to not only to the non-promoters investor, but also to the promoters, since they are the largest investor in the company. And sir, I belong to the state of West Bengal, and I think I can understand that during this COVID time it is not possible to plan visit to the unit, but post this I would be looking to visit the Kolkata unit. And what is the procedure to pay a visit? What kind of arrangements, if I may be contacted on that front? Sir, I would conclude, and I would request that you provide us with elaborate answers. And sir, your investment in the renewable energy segment also. What are we planning any investment in the renewable segment? And also on the ESG front, since plastic कार्बन का फैक्टर आ जाता है इसमें, तो कार्बन फुटप्रिंट होने के कारण ESG के मैटर में हम क्या वर्क कर रहे हैं सर? और सर, कंपनी में पोटेंशियल है, आप थोड़ा ध्यान दें एमडी साहब, तो आप अपने इन्वेस्टर्स को अपनी स्टोरी को एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हैं. कंजर्वेटिव होना अच्छी बात है सर, बट अल्ट्रा कंजर्वेटिव होना इक्विटी मार्केट में भी सर कभी काउंटर प्रोडक्टिव हो जाता है, तो उस पर थोड़ा वर्क करें. एनएससी लिस्टिंग के लिए भी ट्राई करें सर. जरूर आपने ट्राई किया होगा, तो उस पर कोई अपडेट हो तो शेयर करें। बाकी हम सब शेयर होल्डर्स का आपके प्रति सर सपोर्ट है और आगे भी सपोर्ट रहेगा। ये एक अच्छी कंपनी है, इसको इसकी राइट वैल्यू मिलनी चाहिए सर। बस बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर आपका।
Do we have Mr. Viraj Kacharia, Abhishek Kalra, or Mari Sundaram? Give them who have joined now.
No, ma'am, none of the speakers you said are yet available in the panel. We can move with the replies to the queries.
Since we've done with all the speakers for the meeting, we will now begin the answers to the questions. I request Chairman sir to respond.
Yeah. So, good morning to everybody. So I'll take the questions maybe in mix because there are too many, and I would like to respond the maximum what I could. In case something is missing, you can please. So there were one question which was by the email. What is the outlook on margins and revenue going forward, considering increase of raw material pricing? It is a concern for our industry, definitely. When I mean industry, all the polymer industry, polymer consumers, definitely it will be a tough time going forward because to absorb this all price, and it is not an increase which is 5 to 7%, it is an increase of around 35%. So we have tried to pass on, that's how we could maintain our margin and all. But for a year, it would be difficult. This year is not very easy because the freight has gone up. The logistics are very bad worldwide. So the logistic price, the container price has gone 3 times to 4 times. So the polymer price have increased because of that also. Oil, of course, is one of the reason for that. So on the polymer front, it is a little difficult, but we are managing it, and we'll try to manage what the best way we cannot get a good price material, and at what right time we buy. That would be the key. So again, this similar question on that was, okay, what is the company doing to come cross over the price increase? So we have passed on some in the market, some the company has absorbed because everything cannot be passed on in a shorter time. This time it increased too short. And we are trying to control the margins that it doesn't go very haywire on a downside. So we'll keep a track continuously on that and take the decisions accordingly, which is best for the company. So dealer network, somebody has asked me question, what is the current dealer network and what is our plan to increase the dealer network over the next 2-3 years? Since the company has been into the trade of furniture for the last 25 years, I think so we have a very promising and all pan-India covered dealer network. Increase definitely everywhere we can, and sales would be the strategy to increase the sales. That is the first strategy, and for that we are taking all the efforts by changing the way in rural areas we are increasing our exposure. So we believe that the rural area would be the next 5 years. The growth will come from rural area more. We're focusing on the rural areas and increasing our network over there, which will help the company grow much faster. Our online channel revenue is around 8 to 10%, not very high because since our product is very bulky and cost of couriers and all are very high. So, but then too, it is a good thing for furniture. If you see many places in the world, it is not that high also, even including USA. So the segment breakup is like you see the total revenue. 55% would be from 55 to 60% from furniture. Around 15% to 20% from bubble guard, and the remaining is from cooler. Cooler, though, from the last 2 years, because the summer, April, May, June, every time it was closed. So it has really affected the cooler business a lot. And since we started cooler, that is a segment where we were really focused for the next growth. Unfortunately, last 2 years, because of this, and before 2 years when we started, one of the time the summer was not a very good summer. In 2018, I think so, 17 or 18. And the entire cooler market was shrunk because being more seasonal, this section we have a lot of inventory, a lot of material also lying with us. So we are trying how to counter this in a different way by creating export hubs. Because export also is a good potential in cooler nowadays to the Middle East and other countries. So this is the broad segment I can give. We said in 2020 AGM, an annual report, there is a significant opportunity exists due to Make in India. However, we have not seen much transitions in Wimplus despite the Make in India opportunity. To be frank, Make in India is a word which is going from last 5 years. But there is nothing which has come, okay, there is a policy for Make in India, there is a different policy or something. We also took this word, okay, Make in India will give us a lot of opportunities. But realistically, we have not seen anything, okay, this creates an opportunity for us, or is the policy form, okay, if we Make in India and a product which is largely for export will benefit from the government. So it is just a general Make in India is a more so to tap up people to invest in India and export from here. So directly, there is no advantage to the company. But since we want to increase our manufacturing capacities on different sectors, so going forward for 2-3 years, furniture doesn't look too promising to take the company to a new level. So as the management, we are definitely thinking on a line which will give us the top line, keeping in mind that we don't get work with a very small bottom line. There are some identifications what we are doing. The company has some money. Somebody had told, why don't you buy back? I don't think so. Our company size is too big and we don't need money for growth. So that's why we are keeping at a conservative level dividend, because we will need money for the growth. And since the company doesn't believe, or the management doesn't believe in borrowing too much money, for the last 25 years, the balance sheet has always been debt free. But that doesn't mean that we are stopping the growth. In every segment, we have tried to focus on different segments whenever we could focus on that. Brand building, the biggest advantage for our company's brand is that it is into various segments by that brand. Not everything is owned by this company, but other companies of the promoters also market the product from the same brand. And the brand, I think so, is already there. Now we need to really enhance in the segment. There are not too many of advertisements. So those who have made the brand, definitely we are getting an advantage of it. Though we are striving everywhere, we are trying to double the advertisement and all. Last 1.5 years, the activities were much less in all the categories, publicity, because uncertainty of the market. If you advertise today and the shops are closed, really doesn't make any difference. Advantage to us. So this would definitely be the target because we want to create this brand over the next 3 to 5 years to a different level. Whatever the company can afford, if we are going in some other products where we have, there are many products which are only advertising oriented sales. In fast moving consumer goods, if you see, that is the thing, because the product has to be on your mind, of the consumer mind for always. We are not, because we are consumer durables. We need a brand, we need the trust on the product, and that's what will enhance the company. So our advertising spend cannot be 8 to 10%, 12% of sales. We can be 3 to 4% of the sales. Amitabh Bachchan, yeah, this is all what we've taken him as a brand ambassador and all. We're trying to promote through an celebratory, because this was our first celebratory, and one more we had done earlier in pen segment was MS Dhoni, the cricketer, because earlier we always believed that our product is a hero. So given a time, we have changed our presentation, what was given and all, that if we take a celebrity like Mr. Bachchan, it will really, recall will be much higher. If we're trying on that, we might take some other celebrity also in the future. The unorganized market, somebody has asked me, is facing a lot of problem. I think so, no, because seconds in purely furniture I'm talking about is a big challenge again, because when the raw material prices are very high, they mold in seconds, and the difference of a product is very, very high, and people like tent houses or dhabas or small restaurants, they then go for the price product. So some of the sales is diverted because of this, and it is a huge difference sometimes, because that is the major setback what we are facing in furniture. So, and the last 5 years, somebody asked if the growth was stagnant. Some of the stagnancy because of the raw material also, because I think so we are 65 to 60 to 65% consumption of raw material in furniture. When the raw material increases by 30%, your price will definitely increase to an extent. And if the raw material was very softened for 15, 16, 17, 18, and then from 19 it went up. In the pandemic, it came down in the first initial 4-6 months, and then suddenly it shot up to 35% further. So the numbers in Wimplas definitely would depend a little bit on the raw material pricing. We are focusing on all the products what we are making, that how do we achieve 20 to 25% growth, and then create another vertical which can give us a very good top line. The company has the capability, we have the resources, the money, of our own. So I don't think so. We will try to be more conservative on this, but we'll be cautious because you don't know even for next 6 months what will be the position. Till the vaccination in India is coming to a certain level. Some questions on how many employees of the companies are vaccinated. I think so. As per the guidelines of the age, tried are like in Daman, I think so. Are 95% of the employees are vaccinated. Bombay office, as per the guidelines, those who were in that age criteria and category have been vaccinated. West Bengal, it was always delayed because the second vaccine is now 84 days later. So I don't really have the fine number, but we have been pursuing everybody to take vaccine. We have done in Daman the camp in our plant only to get them vaccinated. And we will really follow that everybody is vaccinated in time properly. On the salary and the wages reduction, the major factor was that when the pandemic was closed, so we had a lot of overtimes also. So the work is 8 hours and then 4 hours of overtime. So that overtime payment has come down considerably. The top HODs have also taken a hit of some salary cuts. So as to what was going through the industry, what we understood, and it was willingness. On the lower side, we have not removed, we have not sacked. Somebody might have left and gone because of the first wave. People were very scared and they did not report for 2-3 months, 4 months. So that salary might have gone. So that's why the reduction. But the company has not sacked anybody because of non-work. Okay, the plant is off and we don't want to keep you. I don't think so. That should be any incentive. Some comparison on the growth from the last 2 years vis-a-vis some competitors. We are not competitors in all the products with that company. So I do not know if there was a new vertical or which of the product grew more and which did not grow. So in the organized sector, there are 3-4 major players, and all of them have different segments. And because of the raw material price, the revenues would go because we are consuming 60% of the raw material for a 100% sale. Some of the products which are there, 80% is the raw material. If the raw material prices have gone up in that category, and which material you are using, like if you were using PVC, the PVC has gone up by 70%. Polypropylene has gone up by 35%. So we are more, the raw material of the company mainly is polypropylene. So I would not be able to give a fair thing why and what on this, because where there is no segment reporting, it is a little difficult. From the market news, what we get and from the sales, that what are the categories which are doing in our, where we deal, are doing good or bad for the industry. So accordingly, we check the what is your strength and where we are losing or where we are gaining. So new products are regularly launched. Uh, segment is different. If you are wanting to enter into a different segment, new products are regularly launched. In furniture, we have different models coming in. Bubble garden, there is some different kind of uses we are trying to develop. Coolers is again models because there is nothing new product. It's a new product, not a new segment. So this is a regular affair, and we have an R&D where what is the market requirement, design, which is a continuous affair of this company. As I earlier told, the size of the company has to grow, and we are working towards that. So the cash inventory, what we have of around 150 crores, which are there in investment, is definitely for a big opportunity what we are looking. And as India, so we've just pulled a little back because of the pandemic, and we want to be really solid on that footing when we start investing in this, which will take this company to a new level. And that's why we could preserve this cash for future growth. And in the next 2 years, I can just tell the company will be in a different level. So some PR activities on TV and all, I think so we would do it. Let the company be at a certain level in the next 2 years, and definitely we will do all these activities. We'll get in touch with shareholders. Even it will benefit the market also. At this time, I think so. Not too much to speak on and every quarter on the national television or anywhere. But we definitely look forward that we would like to be more interactive shareholders. What is the expenses of legal proceedings? So the fourth quarter, somebody asked why when there was a spike in sales last year in 2021, the fourth quarter our sales was 101 crores against 76 crores. But the first quarter was almost zero in 2021. The bonus of the company was declared in 2016. In this pandemic time, 25 to 26 of our people got affected, but all have recovered. Based on acquisitions of like businesses and all, the company is open, and that's what I was saying. In next 2 years, we are looking for a bigger growth from a different thought and different thinking, which I think so, which will be visible at the very early. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. The director's appointment, how the director board is being formed, is from, some of them are from classic background, some are veteran chartered accountants or a lawyer. These are some of the directors, and then the directors from the promoters group are there. So we have always tried that the board really contributes in the growth of the company and gives us the vision to grow further. Just if I missed, I don't know. You can again put that particular question if you want, anybody of them.
All the questions were answered by Chairman, sir. Moving ahead. Members may note that the voting lines on the LinkedIn platform will continue to be available for the next 15 minutes. Therefore, members who have not cast their vote through remote e-voting are requested to do so now. The company has appointed Mr. Hemant Shetty, partner of Mrs. HS Associates, practicing company secretaries, as the scrutinizer to scrutinize the entire voting process in a fair and transparent manner. The results of voting, along with the consolidated scrutinizer's report, will be declared within 48 hours from the conclusion of this meeting, and the same will be placed on the website of the company. Simultaneously, it will also be forwarded to BSE Limited and LinkedIn India Private Limited. I thank all the shareholders, authorized representatives, and auditors for being present at the meeting and for their continued support, and also thank the scrutinizer. I now request Chairman, sir, to propose a vote of thanks.
Dear Company Secretary, is it possible for me to ask one follow-up question? This is Nand Kishore Sharma.
Surely.
Sir, thank you for this. And I had just one question. You said that, the outlook of the company in the 3-5 years is interesting. But you also said furniture is not the segment which will take you there. it'll be new segments which you plan to come up with. Just some thought process into, what is the line, which areas are we thinking, and which parameters would you choose? That will be very helpful us to understand the prospects.
So, I'm sorry, but it's at a very primary stage, and if you permit me, I would not like to disclose at this moment. Okay, but it will be on a relative field where we are not going into something completely different.
Okay, but furniture has a limit to where it can grow in our business scale. Is that fair to
No,
say?
not at all. Furniture total market is big. There is a lot of problems being caused because of the second furniture what is produced. It is not that we are very expensive in manufacturing furniture, but bad quality furniture where the understanding to the consumer is not to that high level, and where price also matters for them. Like I gave an incident of a dhaba or a renting of chair, like the tent houses and all. So they see in a different way altogether. That is the cause of concern. But having said that, also today also the organized market is still in this field also 30 to 35%, 30%.
Right.
So we have an opportunity to grow further because everywhere it will mature. If you see in early 1999, 2000, furniture industry went through a very bad time for 4 years to 5 years. From 2006, it went up again. All the companies you can see, Nilkamal to here. Then further, because of the raw material spikes, it happens. And we are sustaining, we are keeping that, we're not growing very high, but we're trying to keep that hold. And the cycles do change again. So everywhere organized players have sustained for a larger time. They are not organized, they do come and they go. So furniture is not a small segment. Furniture is a big segment. And the buying power as it increases in India. So today the buying power is, I think, the smallest. If you compare to Italy, the garden furniture what is sold there in India with this population, where it is the cheapest medium of furniture to sit. You cannot get a wooden chair or an iron chair cheaper than a plastic molded furniture. So the growth potential is very high. I'm saying for the next 1 or 2 years, where the polymer plus the pandemic, what is going on, will be a little challenging time. Furniture is our core strength, and which we would like to retain and try to grow here, from here. Thank you. Yeah. So I now thank everyone for your kind support and cooperation extended during the meeting. As we have dealt with all the items of the agenda, I declare the meeting as concluded. Thank you very much.